So, hello everyone with another level 4 mission series. This time I will do the missions with the Raven. So not even the Navy Raven, with the simple T1 Raven, so the cheapest one. And I already ran dozens of missions with the ship, so I had trouble with the fit. I show you. So um, first, what I learned quickly is that the ancillary shield booster fit doesn't really work here. What I use for the golem, because the Raven has much worse tank than the golem. Also, doesn't have a bonus for the shield booster. The golem has. So that meant I had to use the shield booster, the ancillary shield booster, all the time for the Raven, and the shield boosters got consumed the charges in the shield booster, the cap charges in the shield booster got consumed very quickly. So I couldn't stay in the mission. I had to jump out and jump back again. So after two missions, I have decided that I redo the whole fit for the Raven. So yeah, so what works for the golem, it doesn't work for the Raven at all. So here we go. This is the current fit I'm using for the Raven. It took literally dozens of missions to come up with the best solution, with the best damage and the damage application as well. So let's see what I'm using. First, you see that the capacitor is not stable. Yeah, that's right, but if I switch off the Afterburner and the tractor bin, then we have almost an hour worth of capacitor, which should be enough for any mission. And you can switch off the shield booster sometimes anyway to get back some capacitor, recharge some capacitor. So, and as I said, I already did a lot of missions, so it works. But you will see this in the missions. Okay, so there's one other thing what needs to be mentioned here. So the damage application is much worse than the golems again. So that's why apart from the Fury missiles, we need to use precision missiles as well. So there is a big difference between the normal missiles and the precision missiles in terms of damage application. So for the golem, I never use precision, so the normal missiles are fine if I want to kill elite frigates. But even in that case, usually for the golem, for most missions, I use only Fury, because that's how much the damage application is better for the golem. You know, with two target painters, also a missile computer as well. So that helps a lot. But sometimes when I face a lot of frigates, then I change the Fury to a normal missile and then kill them with that. But you know, I always try to use the light drones anyway. But here, so why we have bad damage application? Much worse, because first the Raven doesn't have any bonus for damage application, so only velocity. We get additional velocity for cruise missiles and launcher rate of fire for heavy cruise and torpedo. So yeah, that's one thing. The golem has, I think, for explosion velocity or something. I'm not sure which one, but that also got some additional bonuses as well. But for the golem, that tank is very good. Has higher resist, so I don't have to use that many shield mods to be able to fly that in the missions. So now I need basically all but one, because you need the Afterburner at least in some cases, all the mid slots for shields. Yeah, well, I have one large cap battery, but you know, if I don't want to get out of run out of capacitor, then I have to use it. So yeah, you see that 6 minutes is just not enough. So I need to use this large cap battery. So yeah, and because I can't use an S large shield booster because that uses way much battery, I need to use a shield boost amplifier as well. So there is no place here for a missile computer at all. Well, I tried some for some missions it can work because this tank is overkill for like half of the missions, but for the other half, no. It's so there are even some missions where your tank breaks if you are not careful. If you are not you don't kill the highest damage battleships, you know, or NPCs in time, or you know, or just you aggro too many NPC groups or something, or you are just not careful, you don't pay attention, then your tank can break in several missions. I think it's like half of the missions. But if you are careful, you won't die. So you can also mitigate some incoming damage with the Afterburner. I will talk about that later, or even without the Afterburner. If you just move, that means you will get less incoming damage because of the worst damage application for the NPCs. So, but it's even better with the Afterburner. Okay, so and let's see the low slots. So I've tried several fits, uh, low slot variations as well, and it looks like this is the best. So you know, I tried with 4 ballistic control systems and only 1 missile enhancer, and that was worse. That was only better for against the battleships, but even against the battlecruisers that was much worse. So in this case, when I use 3 BCUs and 2 enhancers, the battlecruisers are only 2 volleys, and it doesn't matter which missile I use, either Fury or Precision, 2 volleys with both. If I use only 1 missile guidance enhancer, then I need 3 volleys against the battlecruisers because the damage application becomes that worse. But there's still 2 volleys with the precision. But you know, so I want to, so you know, you need to keep your DPS going in the mission. So if you have to reload a lot of times in the mission, that will cripple your time, your mission completion time. So, and you don't want to do that. You want to finish the missions as fast as possible. So during those, like, I don't know, maybe I did like 3 dozens of missions, and this looks the best. So you can try to do some other combinations. If you find a better one, just let me know. But for now, I couldn't find a better one. So yeah, so in the top, of course, we have the cruise missile launchers with 1 small tractor beam, because sometimes, you know, you need to get something. You can replace it with the drone link augmenter if you want better drone range, but I'm not sure that's really helpful, you know. By the way, I use only light drones. The Raven is capable of having a flight of medium drones as well, so you can do that, like have 1 flight of medium drones, 1 flight of light drones, and then, you know, the medium drones can kill normal NPC cruisers quite quickly, so you can use those as well if you want, but I'm too lazy to replace the drones each time I'm facing another kind of NPCs, you know. I rather have this 3 flight of light drones, so I have the correct damage against any NPCs basically. By the way, you need thermal damage extremely rarely, so that's why it's fine. These 3 kinds of drones. And why Navy drones? Because you use the light drones mainly against frigates and destroyers, and the damage application is much better for the Navy drones. They have much better tracking than the T2 ones. Thus, they have much better damage application against the small targets. So, and the other thing is that they have much higher HP. So they can. So it's harder for the NPCs to kill the light drones, your light drones. So I recommend to use these Navy drones instead of T2s. You know, so I think it's much better. They usually kill everything much faster. I mean, the frigates, the NPC frigates, and the destroyers. But they can also kill cruisers, although that's a little bit slower, but they can do that. So while you are shooting the battle cruisers and the battleships, they can kill a few cruisers. Also the rigs, yeah, well, we need it. So yeah, trust me, I tried a lot of other combinations of rigs and fit, but yeah, so it looks the best for now, you know. So, but yeah, as I said, please let me know if you could come up with a better fit. So, and your next question might be why Raven? Yeah, because it's cheap, right? So the hull is, I don't know, 190 million, and the whole fit is 60, 70 million, less than 70. So you are kind of safe against the gankers, although it doesn't mean that you won't get ganked at all, you know. But but it's much safer than being in a golem. You know, I got ganked even with the cheap golem where I use only T2 a T2 fit. So they, they a group of gankers ganked me, and basically they lost money because my ship dropped only like 20 million worth of loot, and they lost 70, 80 million around. Well, plus they also had their own loot, of course, but they lost at least 20 to 30 million. Is of course, but you know, it's not a lot for them because, you know, like they probably gank a lot of ships each day, and probably they make billions daily. But anyway, so but you know, it feels good that they didn't make any money on my ship, at least. But of course, I don't recommend the Raven if you can fly a golem, because the mission completion time is much worse. So with the golem, you finish the missions at least twice as fast, if not 3 times as fast. So as I said, the damage application is much better. The DPS is twice, literally twice. So I have here, it's like it's let's say it's 900 DPS, okay, with the Raven. So with the golem, I have more than 1800 DPS. That's one thing. The other is the better damage application means, and even the alpha strike is higher. So that's, I think that's around 8,000. That means I kill everything much faster. So for example, with this ship, I need 2 volleys to kill Butler Cruiser. With the golem, I need 1 volley, and also the volleys are much faster, so it's twice as fast. So basically, I kill the battle cruiser like in 1/4 of a time than I need with the Raven. And the same applies for cruisers. That's cruisers are 2 volleys with precision here, but that's 1 volley for the golem with the Fury missiles. Again, so. And the same story with each kind, you know, like the only exception is that I can kill the destroyers with 1 volley here as well, and the normal frigates, non-elite frigates with the precision missiles, and so yeah, that's the exception. But basically, the golem is much faster. So why use the Riven? Because probably you don't have skills for the Marauders, right? Yet. So then here you go. Here is a Riven fit. I will talk a little bit more about the damage application, how it works for the missiles, and why you should use the missiles. Well, you shouldn't use. Well, you can use anything you want, but why I like using the missiles. And after I finish this video, I will record a bunch of missions. I will publish one mission every week, and it will go parallel with my Golem mission running series. So you can even compare. You will be able to even compare some missions. Although it won't be exactly the same, because I did the Golem series in mid-matter space, I think. Yeah, and the most missions were against angels, and now I'm here in Caldari space, so the most missions will be against Puristas, but you can see the difference, right? So okay, so let's talk about the missiles. So the advantages of the missiles are you can choose any damage type. So you can have Mjolnir, EM damage, you can have Nova, explosive damage, you can have Scourge, kinetic, and the fourth is the thermal, which I'm not sure what's the name. Inferno, yeah. The Inferno is a thermal damage, but you rarely need Inferno. So that's one thing. So that's pure damage. So it's not even like one half is like this kind, the other half is that kind. It's 100% kinetic damage in case of the Scourge missiles. Okay, so it's easier to choose your ammunition, and against the NPC type or NPC faction also all the missiles cost aren't the same. I mean the T1 missiles cost around the same. So for example, for some for example, if you use artillery, you can't use T2 ammunition against all the NPCs, because the T2 ammunition has a given type of damage. Let's check it out. Let's check projectile weapon. Oh, I am at the rigs. Okay. So artillery. Let's check out the artillery. Use it. So I want T2 artillery guns. Yeah. So quick. The T2 has kinetic and explosive damage, which is really bad. For example, if you want to kill Sansha or Blood Raiders, that's really bad, right? Tremor has, yeah, that's the same story. So now you have to use either T1 ammunition. For example, you want EM damage, you have to use the EMP ammunition. That's still not a pure EM damage, but that's okay. But then you will have way less DPS, right? So you can also use one of the faction ammunition as well with higher damage, and actually it has also higher I think it has also higher tracking bonus, but still, so you can't use, if you, for example, if you use the artillery, then you don't have all damage types, or you have to make compromises, right? But you don't need to do with this with the missiles, so that's easy. Also, missiles doesn't care about the speed. Well, it cares about the speed of the enemy, but if shall I say, it doesn't care about the how far the enemy is. Okay, so if the enemy is inside the range of the missiles, for cruise missiles it's quite long, then the missiles will always hit. Okay, so you know, like for other weapon systems, it's not always the case. So you can miss the enemy even if it's in the range of your weapons with, for example, artillery cannons or some other kind of weapons, but you will always hit the enemy with the missiles. So that's the other advantage. But there is some disadvantage as well. So the biggest one is missiles takes time to get to the target. So yeah, that's the biggest disadvantage of the missiles. So it's several seconds, needs several seconds to reach to the target. Depends on how far it is, how fast the missiles are. Let's see these. These missiles are not slow, but you know, if a NPC is 50 kilometers away, it took almost 5 seconds to reach the target. Right, for 100 kilometers it's almost 10 seconds, etc, etc. So yeah, you have to keep it in mind. But what are the other disadvantages? So the damage application is tricky, you know. So let's check the missiles again. So there are two major attributes for the missile. Well, more than two, but you know, let's say four. The velocity and the flight time is. You don't have to care about this a lot for cruise missiles, because even if you have crappy skills, then I can't imagine a scenario where your cruise missiles don't go to up at least for 200 kilometers. Okay, so they might be slower, and you have to wait more for damage for getting to the target, but you know, that's not the biggest issue. This can be an issue, for example, for rockets, also heavy assault missiles, because they have short range. But now we are talking about long range missiles. But here are two other attributes: explosion velocity and explosion radius. So these are very important, because why? So let's talk about first the radius. Okay, so if your explosion radius is bigger than the target, then your missiles won't do full damage. For example, let's say explosion radius is 500 meters. It's less, but let's assume it's 500, and the target is 250. If you hit the target, then the target will take only half damage. Well, at least that's how it's calculated. I'm not exactly sure about the calculation, but the point is that it will take less damage. If the target is at least 100 meters and the explosion radius is 100 meters, then the target can take full damage. So that's one of the things about damage application. But the other thing is the explosion velocity. That's the same story, but the opposite. So the higher the explosion velocity, so for the explosion radius, the lower the better. For the explosion velocity, the higher the better. Why? Because the target is not stationary, well, at least usually. So most of the targets are moving, and you know, if they can run out of the explosion, and that's the issue. So if the target's velocity is higher than the explosion velocity of your missiles, that will also reduce the damage what the target gets. So that's the other issue. So that's why you want the highest possible explosion velocity and the lowest possible explosion radius. Okay, so, and there are some skills to mitigate this. Also, you can use some plugins, you can use some modules. For example, Missile Guidance Enhancer mitigates these issues. The missile computer, which is called Missile Guidance Computer, would be much better, but we need all these slots for tank. you know, that's a problem. So that's why I had to use two missile guided enhancers, which is also not bad, but worse. So you see that it gives bonus to explosion velocity, radius, even flight time and missile velocity as well. Also, rigs can help, but we need the rigs for capacitor. You know, there are some rigs. Yeah, so I use those kind of rigs for the golem. I can't use those here because of capacitor. Uh, and also you can, I think there are some boosters as well. But now let's see my augmentations implants, what I use. So which also helps. Actually, I use the same, I think the same augmentations for the golem as well. So cruise missiles. Yeah, it gives flat 3% bonus to the cruise missile damage. Of course, you can, if these are around 20 million ISK, if you find this too expensive, then you can use the 2% ones. Those are much cheaper. Or if you think it's worth to buy more expensive, then you can do that as well. So the gankers usually don't go after your pod in high sec, so that's quite safe to use expensive implants in high sec. Well, usually it's not always the case. You never know, you know. But I found that this have the best price, you know, for the job. Also, for the 7th slot, I use shield management. So here you can also put a missile rig, which is I think this is the missile projection. Well, there are two, either the bombardment or the projection. I think the projection, yeah, the projection gives velocity to the missiles, the bombardment gives range. Velocity is better because velocity also equal to range. So if your missiles have higher velocity, that means they will reach to, they will go further away. So and they will do it faster than just giving to a flight time, right? So you can choose this one, the missile projection, but since the cruise missiles have huge range anyway, so I chose the shield management, which gives 3% to your shields. It gives a slightly better tank, not huge, better, not, doesn't make a big difference at all, but you know, why not choose this if I don't need the cruise missile, uh, if I don't need extra range anyway. But if you want to use this pod for other missile ships as well, for example heavy assault missiles and torpedoes as well, then the missile range would be better for you. Also, guided missile precision, so it has damage application. So yeah, so the so it treats the enemies as they had a lower signature radius, right? So it again, 3% is not allowed, but every percent helps. So after this I will go through the skills as well, of course. Then target navigation prediction, that's the same, but it's about the velocity. So again, it helps with damage application, right? And rapid launch, just flat missile launcher rate of fire. So that's DPS. Okay, so now we are done with the plugins or augmentations. Let's check out the skills. This one. So missiles. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, I have my missile skills at maximum. Well, apart from the torpedo specialization level 5 and the defender missiles. But what is a must? Okay, so first, cruise missiles to level 5. You can't use T2 missiles without cruise missiles level 5. So that's a must. You have to learn this. So, but if you didn't reach that point yet, then you can use, of course, T1 launchers. Arbalest launchers are the best among T1 launchers. So put those, and you don't have a choice about missiles. So you can't use T2. You can use only T1, but you can use also Faction 1 for some better damage. But yeah, that's it. Cruise missile specialization, learn this to level 4. Level 5, yeah, I did it to up to level 5, but that's 2 million skill points. So level 4 is enough. It gives only 2% rate of fire for your cruise missiles. The next one, guided missile precision. You need it at level 5. Okay, so it's okay if you start missioning when it's at level 3 or 4, but you need to learn at level 5. It affects every missile, every kind of missile, so torpedoes, rockets, heavy assault missiles as well. So you need this. So it helps with damage application. So it treats it decreases the so the explosion rate, it decreases the explosion radius of the missiles. So this is very important, and 5% matters. Okay, let's go to the next one, missile bombardment. This is gives maximum flight time to all your missiles. If you use cruise missiles, I think level 4 is enough. But eventually you want it to train to level 5 because for rockets, and especially for rockets and heavy assault missiles, you will need that extra 10%. Missile launcher operation, it should be at level 5, and I don't think you can even learn cruise missiles when it's not at level 5, but maybe you can. Okay, so missile projection. So again, it's enough at level 4 if you use cruise missiles, but this is a very important skill as well, so eventually you want it at level 5. Okay, rapid launch, you need at level 5. That's the rate of fire bonus for each missile launcher, and then we have the target navigation prediction. So this is another skill what you want to have at level 5 no matter what. So again, so you can start using this ship when it's at level 4 or maybe 3, but it matters a lot. So I think it increases the explosion velocity of the missiles. So yeah, that's what it does, and that helps a lot with damage application. And that's it about cruise missiles. Well, most of these skills applies to all missiles, so only the cruise missile specialization and the normal cruise missile skill applies only to cruise missiles. So you want the other skills for all other missile types. Anyway, also, I forget, warhead upgrades. That gives a flat 2 bonus to missile damage per level. Okay, so that's another thing. So to train it to level 4. Okay, so 2%, I mean that gives 8%. If you learn it to level 8, that gives 8% additional damage. That's a lot. Okay, and as you can see, I trained it to level 5, so eventually you might want to consider it, especially so if you are serious about level 4 missioning with a missile ship. By the way, not only the Caldari is the faction having missile ships. Almost all other faction has some missile ships as well. But if you are serious about using missiles, especially in missions, then yeah, you want to learn all these skills at level 5 eventually. Okay, so we are done with the skills, and I think that's all. I don't have anything to talk about right now. anything else. If you have any questions or comments, please do it. Write a comment for this video. So as I said, I will publish one level 4 missions with the ship every week. The first will be the assault. Yeah, you can see the mission here. So yeah, so please do. And if you like this video, then please give it a like and subscribe. You can also watch my Golem level mission series. So I already uploaded like 20 missions with the Golem, but the time when you see this video, maybe only just 1 or 2 are available yet. So the 2 mission series will go in parallel. The Golem missions will be published at every Thursday, and the Raven missions will be published at every Monday. And of course, I won't talk anything about the Raven missions in the Golem series, because you know when I did those missions, I didn't plan to do the same with the Raven yet, but I might refer to the Golem missions why I'm doing this mission series with the Raven. But anyway, oh, one more thing. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm in this system. This is just one jump from Jita. This is not a good place to mission. It would be okay with this ship, because you know, like, yeah. So why? First, why? Because there are a lot of gankers around this place. I mean, in Jita they are always there, and 1 or 2 jumps around Jita, you find them everywhere around Jita, you know. But I'm not really afraid of getting ganked with a simple Raven, you know. Even if they do, I don't lose a lot of money. But this is not the best station to do missions, because I'm in a 4.7 security status system. So the problem is that, so the higher the security system is, the less the loyalty points you get for the missions, and you want as much loyalty points as possible, because a big amount of income comes by running the level 4 missions, comes from the loyalty points. So yeah, so you want to find a place with a lower security status, preferably with 0.5, you know. So there are other issues. There can be issues with that as well, because you know usually 0.5 systems are next to low sec, and it might happen that you get a lot of missions in low sec which you have to decline because you will get killed in low sec. That's 100%. So that's another thing. But you know, maybe you can find a 0.6 nice 0.6 system to run your missions in, which can be better. It can be a good compromise, but you know, you have to find another system that, well, you can do it here if you want. So you know why I chose this, because I don't do this for the money, for the income. I just wanted to find a good fit and to make some videos, you know, so others can learn as well. And so next system is Jita. So if I need to buy another module or change fit or something, or just buy more ammunition, then it's much faster for me. But anyway, so how can you find an agent? Go to here, the agency, agent and missions, mission agents. You need security agents if you want to use your ship, you know, kill NPCs. Then that's the best thing you can do. Find a security agent, and then choose level 4, of course. Choose high sec, and the faction you want to run the missions for. I'm in Caldari space, so I choose Caldari, and then you can choose the best, you know, like like there are some possibilities in 3 jumps. Of course, you also need to take your standings into consideration, but by default you only see those agents who you have access to, so that's not a problem. So yeah, so these are a possibility to 3 jumps, not in the same system for me at least. Like here is one at 4 jumps, another at 4 jumps. Also you have to consider that you might want to use more expensive chip later, so for example a golem, then you don't want to be close to cheetah, because there is a bigger chance you will get ganked in your golem. So that's another thing to think about. And there is a third thing. So it matters, the loyalty point store matters a lot. What you can buy from the loyalty point store. So that always depends on the corporation of the agent. So you want to do some research, because as I said, a big amount of income from level 4 missions come by using your loyalty points. So you have to check what's in the loyalty point store for the given corporation, NPC corporation, and choose the corporation accordingly. So for example, you probably won't make a lot of money to purchase faction ammo and sell on the market, or these faction guns. That's no go. Also, yeah, the same. So for most stuff, what I found out, you can't make a lot of money, but you have to do your own research. Which corporation you need to choose for this LP ISK conversion, So for Caldari, I know that the PCUs, Ballistic Control Systems, are really good. I don't know if we have this here or not. Yeah, Ballistic Control Systems. You can make quite a good money on these, but you might want to go for the blueprint, so that's much better. Do they have here blueprint? Yeah, they don't have blueprint for the ballistic control system. So I found that the 5-run ballistic control Cardinal ballistic control system blueprint is quite good to purchase, and then of course you need to build the BCU yourself and sell it on the market, but it also depends. It might not be the best, it also depends on a lot of circumstances, so you have to do your own research. And I think that's all for now. You will find the fit in the description. If you have any question, as I already said, please feel free to ask in the comments, or any suggestions. Maybe you found a better fit for the rerun. I will be happy to try that as well. So thanks again, please subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.